We see Goku and Zeno-sama playing on the planet of the King of Everything. Both Zeno-samas enjoyed their time with Goku, although the Saiyajin was very discouraged. The Kings of Everything would notice. Even Goku seemed sad. "Goku, what's wrong?" a Zeno-sama would say. "Yes, you look sad, yes?" the other Zeno-sama would say. "I'm bored," Goku would say. "But why?" a Zeno-sama would ask. "Are you bored with us?" the other Zeno-sama would say. "No, it's not that. It's just that over the years, I've become very strong. I beat Vegeta a lot, and now I have no one to fight with. Being very strong becomes boring." Both Zeno-samas would watch each other. "Why don't you fight against Bills?" a Zeno-sama would say. "Yes, or against Whis?" the other Zeno-sama would say. "Because they are not my rivals, much less my enemies, so it's not funny," Goku would say. "The idea is that there is someone very strong who fills me with emotion to fight him, that forces me to give my all. Fighting my friends is a boring game." The Kings of Everything would watch each other. Yes, both would have a great idea, although they would not tell Goku. Moments later, we see Goku arrive on Earth. He had finished his visit to Zeno-sama. "Goku, you're finally back," Milk would say. "I was with Zeno-sama. Did something happen?" "Goku, you have to know something," Milk would say. "Vegeta was named successor to Bills." "Really? Wow, he must be very happy." "It seems that it was Bulma who was most excited. You had to see her. She was very proud of her husband," Milk would say. "Then I'll have to greet Vegeta. He deserves it. It's done for that," Goku would say. "Goku, do not you get sad that you have not been chosen? After all, you are much stronger than Vegeta," Milk would say. "No, not at all. Why would I be sad?" Goku would say. "Well, he was always your rival. I thought that the fact of being a god would make him stronger," Milk would say. "The truth is that it makes me happy, but being a god of destruction is not something I like. It makes me bored." "I understand." Milk saw something sad. It seemed that she was the one who most wanted Goku to be god. "I felt envy for Bulma, since her husband was someone of renown, not like Goku, who, despite having saved the Earth countless times, did not enjoy the reputation he deserved." The days would pass, and the Kings of Everything would call an important meeting. I would call each of the gods to give an important notice. Everyone was present, waiting for the big announcement. "I hope nothing bad has happened," Bills would say. "Surely you made some of your mistakes, and we will all pay for it," Champa would say. "Shut up, idiot," Bills would say. "Hey, stop arguing. We are on the planet of Zeno-sama. Do not forget it," Bermud would say. "The only thing missing is that the King of Everything gets in a bad mood for finding them fighting, okay?" Margarita would say. "Your attention, please," Daishin-kan would say. "With you, Zeno-sama." Both Kings of Everything would arrive, ready to give an announcement. "We have an order for you, yes?" I would say as Zeno-sama. "And it is better that you fulfill it, yes?" I would say the other Zeno-sama. "I wonder what will happen now," Bills would think, terrified. "The gods of destruction have the order to eliminate Goku," I would say as Zeno-sama. "Yes, and they cannot say no, yes?" I would say the other Zeno-sama. Everyone would be perplexed by the sudden order, especially knowing that Zeno-sama was a friend of Goku. "I don't understand. Did Goku make a mistake?" Bills would say. "And what do you care about that?" I would ask a Zeno-sama. "Yes, they just have to eliminate it and that's it," I would say the other Zeno-sama. "The order is clear. The gods of destruction must eliminate Mr. Goku, although they are forbidden to use energy of destruction," I would say Daishin-kan. "I like that idea," I would say Champa with a proud smile. "Is it some kind of game, or do you really have to eliminate it?" I would say Jerez. "You have to eliminate it," I would say both Kings of Everything with a sinister tone in their voices. The tension grew between the gods. They did not have a problem in obeying the order, although everything sounded strange. It was somewhat crazy and senseless order. But that's not all. There will be a prize for whoever achieves it, I would say Daishin-kan. That god of destruction that eliminates Mr. Goku will have all this as a prize. Daishinkan would show a small leather bag. It is fairy dust, I would say Daishinkan. Fairy dust? I would say Arak, disconcerted. The other gods of destruction did not understand anything. Arak, do you know what that is? I would say Sidra. Whoever uses the fairy dust will become immune to the Senno-sama technique. In short, the winner will not be able to disappear by the king of everything, I would say Arak. I see that you are very well informed, I would say Daishinkan. Is there really something like that? I would ask Bills, intrigued. Mr. Bills, fairy dust is what we angels use to be immune, I would say Whis. To be immune to the power of Senno-sama? I would say Champa. Of course, after all, we occupy posts of confidence, I would say Vados. It would be interesting to study the behavior of a god of destruction without the fear that Senno-sama can destroy it, I would think Whis. So what do they say? I would ask a Zeno-sama. Whoever eliminates Goku will be immune to my power, I would say the other Zeno-sama. The gods of destruction would undoubtedly accept it, even Bills. For them, it would be easy, since in self, most hated Goku. Is there any rule or restriction besides not using Hakai? I would ask Romash. Nothing. They can even work as a team if they wish, I would say Daishinkan. But the fairy dust will still be for one, right? I would ask Bills. In case several gods of destruction defeat Mr. Goku, you must find out who will be the beneficiary of the fairy dust, I would say Daishinkan. They are adult people. They can solve it. Eliminating Goku in self will be a great prize, I would say Champa. Now that everyone has accepted, we have the news to Mr. Goku, I would say Daishinkan. Daishinkan would shake his fingers. Goku would appear as if nothing without understanding what was happening. What do I do here? I would say Goku. Mr. Goku, we have news for you, I would say Daishinkan. News? What did I do now? Better said, what will he do? I would say Daishinkan. Goku, I would call the kings of all, excited to see him. Both Zeno-sama would go to Goku and hug him hard. Is everything all right? I don't understand, I would say Bills. Oh, Guandavel, I would say Quitella. Zeno-sama just asked to eliminate Goku. However, they looked very happy with him by his side. After this confusion by the gods of destruction, Daishinkan would explain the whole truth to Goku. What? Why? I would say Goku. Take it as a game, I would say Daishinkan. But that game is risking my life, I would say Goku. You said you were bored.
I would say a Senno-sama. And what better than this to entertain you? I would say the other Senno-sama. But this is different, I would say Goku. The gods want to kill you, Goku. The one who wins will be immune to my power, I would say a Senno-sama. It was the situation you were talking about, that you had no one to fight. Against someone strong without a real reason, I would say the other Senno-sama. But, I would say Goku with doubts. But the moment I would understand. Great, sounds fantastic. I think I'll have to be attentive all the time and train harder. Goku. Do not think that we will make it easy for you, I would say Quitella. We will end you, whoever you are, I would say Sidra. What is this about? To entertain Goku, I would think Beans. After all, it seems that Goku and Senno-sama look more than it seems. I'll be waiting. I die of excitement, I would say Goku. Goku would return to Earth, and the gods of destruction would go to their respective universes to start with their plans. Some would attack him directly, while others drew plans to be able to win. But others, although very few, they thought of forming alliances so not to fight alone against Goku. Everyone was aware that Goku was not an ordinary subject. It was a mortal who walked among the gods, both for his transformations with the divine key, as for his great power. Goku was preparing for that challenge. He was excited. He felt the adrenaline in his blood run through his body. All the time he was attentive to being attacked, since that's what it was about. Heavens, This feels almost the same as when I hired Hit to kill me, I would say Goku. In the end, Senno-sama improves very well. I could not have had a better idea. It's fantastic. Sidra watched Goku on Earth. I was ready to attack him. I think I better not waste time. Someone could get ahead, I would say Sidra. Are you sure about this? I would say Rao. After all, it's about Goku. Do you think I can not against him? I would say Sidra, annoying. I think I'll be the first to attack him openly if a plan is something stupid. As matter, the other gods surely benefit from your action to study the situation, I would say Rao. You talk like a coward. I cannot let time pass. If I blink too much, someone will eliminate it, I would say Sidra. Sidra would go on a trip without hesitation. He's a fool, I would say Rao, discouraged. I just hope he does not kill him, because I will also die. On the planet of Bills, the god of destruction had just observed Sidra heading to Earth. At that moment, Whis would give Bills a chocolate. Oh, okay. You win, I would say Whis. I told you Sidra would be the first to attack him. No Champa, I would say Bills. Yes, you're right. Although if Mr. Champa does not go, it's because Sidra got ahead of him, I would say Whis. What happens with Kakaroto that they watch him so much? I would say Vegeta. Vegeta, if I tell you, you would not believe it, I would say Bills. Bills and Whis would tell Vegeta about the order to eliminate Goku. Besides being excited, that seems silly to him. So do you really think you can against Kakaroto? I would say Vegeta. Hey, remember who you're talking to, I would say Bills, annoying. Keep training. Then they tell me, I would say Vegeta, and he would move away. Wow, it seems that he is more than sure that nobody can defeat Mr. Goku, I would say Whis. We'll see that very soon, I would say Bills, seriously. On Earth, Goku was working in his field. Suddenly, he would feel the presence of Sidra. He would leave there to not put his home in danger. He was anxious to start fighting. A few kilometers away, Sidra would arrive with Mojito. Wow, it was to be expected that my first confrontation would be with the god of the weakest destruction, I would say Goku. Hey, give more respect. I'm not the weakest, I would say Sidra. That his universe is the worst of all does not mean that I am the weakest, I would say Mojito. It's true, hey? I would say Sidra, annoying. I wish him luck, I would say Mojito when taking distance. Very well, I'm ready, I would say Goku when putting himself on guard. I remind you that I am willing to eliminate you, I would say Sidra. Oh, you better be careful. Yes, you don't have to explain anything. If you're so sure that you're going to eliminate me, well, just do it, I would say Goku. The kings of everything saw the confrontation from their planet. They didn't expect someone to act so fast. If he hurried, I would say a Senno-sama. Yes, it's very silly, yes, I would say the other Senno-sama. I suppose he will have reasoned that acting first will be the best. If he fails to defeat him, the other gods will manage to measure the movements of Mr. Goku to have studied it, I would say Daishinken. Goku was facing Sidra, the god of destruction of Universe 9. Despite the seriousness of the moment, Goku could not help but feel a tingling of emotion running through his body. It was a familiar feeling, a mixture of adrenaline and anticipation that he only experienced in the most intense moments of combat. It had been a long time since I felt something like that. He missed it. It was the true emotion of a fight that I have been looking for a long time. I'm ready when you are, Goku would say, adopting a combat posture. Although Sidra was sure of himself, Goku could perceive a slight tension in his ki, a sign that the god of destruction was also nervous about the challenge he had ahead. Sidra would raise a hand and concentrate his energy, forming a sphere of dark energy between his palms. Get ready, mortal, Sidra would say in a low voice. With a quick movement, he threw the sphere towards Goku, who dodged it agilely, disappearing in a flash of light and reappearing behind Sidra. Hey, that's Hakai energy, it doesn't work, Goku would say. Daishinken would appear out of nowhere, interrupting the fight. Supreme Priest! Sidra would say, terrified. Mr. Sidra, I think we were clear that we prohibit the use of Hawkeye. Otherwise, this challenge would not be fun for His Majesty, Daishinkan would say. It cannot be. It didn't last any without making the ridiculous, Mojito would say, sorry. Great Lord, I'm sorry. It's that, as the god of destruction, it's natural for me to fight in this way, Sidra would say. It's the last chance you have. The next time you use Hawkeye energy will be eliminated, and this runs for the rest of the gods who are watching this fight, Daishinkan would say. How do you know we're watching? Champa would say. Surely he just guessed. Daishinkan would allow the fight to continue. Before Sidra could react, Goku would throw a quick blow to the side of the god of destruction, sending him flying several meters back.
Sidra would recover quickly, surprised by the speed and strength of Goku. Do not underestimate a Saiyan, Goku would say with a smile. Ready to continue the fight, Sidra would stand up, aware that he had underestimated his opponent. This time, I will not trust me. I will eliminate you with my own hands, Sidra would say. I'm waiting for you to do something, Goku would say. Meanwhile, the other gods of destruction observed the fight with interest. Some were impressed by Goku's performance, while others were anxious to face him themselves. Meanwhile, on the planet of Bills, Vegeta watched the fight with his arms crossed on his chest. Although he was impressed by Goku's power, he could not help but feel a slight resentment for having been chosen as the successor of Bills, but being inferior in power. Damn you, Kakaroto, Vegeta murmured to himself. You always have to be the center of attention. Mr. Vegeta, is everything in order? Whis would say. Of course not. You're watching the fight instead of training me, Vegeta would say. I'm going to be the god of destruction. I have to be much stronger than I am now. Wow, I see, Whis smiled when he understood everything. What is that about? Whis, what do you mean by that? Bills would say. Nothing, I'll leave him watching the fight. I have to train Mr. Vegeta, Whis would say. Back in the fight, Goku and Sidra continued exchanging blows and energetic attacks. Despite Sidra's efforts, Goku seemed to be a step ahead at all times, dodging his attacks and counterattacking with an amazing speed and precision. It can't be that I have an advantage. I have to think about something, Sidra would say. Goku would reach Sidra with a series of consecutive blows. Sidra would dodge the attacks, but one of them would be filtered. He would receive the impact directly, causing him a great wound. Sidra would be injured. He couldn't move. I can't believe it, Sidra would say. It's time to finish this. Finally, Goku would throw a powerful Kamehameha at Sidra, who would try to block him with an energy barrier. However, Goku's attack force was too great, and the barrier would break, sending Sidra flying backwards with a scream of surprise. Goku slowly approached Sidra, who lay on the ground, breathing heavily. Are you ready to give up? Goku would ask with a smile. Sidra would groan as he stood up with effort, looking at Goku with determination. I won't give up so easily, Sidra would say. Believe it or not, I have more tricks up my sleeve. Sidra would raise her hand, invoking Hakkai's energy, but before doing anything, she would disappear. Wow, Goku would say amazed. He's an idiot, Mojito would say. How? Ro would say from a distance. Ro would touch his body. It would seem strange to see him disappear, but nothing had happened to him. Oh, I get it, Ro would say, disconcerted. I see you have doubts, Daishinkan would say. Great priest? Ro would say. Don't worry, you were watched from the beginning. We know you warned Sidra not to fight from the start, and knowing that, you have not intervened, Daishinkan would say. From Sidra's first warning, we disconnected his soul from his. Oh, I appreciate it, Ro would say. For the moment, he will not have the god of destruction, but I imagine he will be able to carry his burden forward without one for some time, Daishinkan would say. As you wish, great priest, Ro would say. Goku had come out victorious and had not even transformed. This was something that all the gods of destruction had witnessed. They were aware that Goku had reached great power, and fighting alone against him was a very big risk. In this way, some gods would agree to fight Goku, although there was one who was preparing in secret. That was Vegeta, the successor of Bills. The challenge of the gods of destruction was perfect for him. Vegeta, along with Whis, would go personally to the planet of Zenozama. They had to ask him. "What happens?" Zenozama would ask. "Yes, what happens?" Zenozama would ask. "Mr. Vegeta has a special request to make," Whis would say. "Go ahead," Zenozama would say. "I understand that you ordered the gods of destruction to eliminate Kakaroto," Vegeta would say. "Yes, it's true," Zenozama would say. "It's true," Zenozama would say. "So I want to join the cause. I want to be ordered to eliminate him," Vegeta would say. "Mr. Vegeta argues that he should be included for being a candidate for the God of Destruction," Whis would say. Both kings of everything would remain silent for a moment. They would not emit a single sound. The tension of the situation would be perceived by Vegeta, but he was determined to defeat Goku. After all, he could not allow his eternal rival to be stronger than him. "Well, okay," Zenozama would say. "Yes, after all, it sounds fun. Yes," Zenozama would say. In this way, Vegeta was also available to fight Goku. While he was traveling with Whis back to the planet of Bills, the angel would give him a warning. "I remind you that he has been far behind in power, so he will have to train very hard," Whis would say. "I will not only reach Kakaroto, I will surpass him, and by far," Vegeta would say. Vegeta would start with his arduous training, one that Whis would warn him that he could even endanger his life when passing through him. But Vegeta did not care about anything. He had only one thing on his mind: overcome Goku, whatever. The days would pass while Goku trained in the hope of being challenged again. The uncertainty generated great emotion. He constantly replanned who could be the next god of attacking destruction. Without him waiting, 3 gods of destruction would come to him. It was Erat, Ewan, and Liquid. "I remember the power of tournament. Their universes did not participate for having a good standard of living," Goku would say. "That's right," Erat would say. "But one is missing. There were 4 universes that participated," Goku would say. "Yes, Jin is missing, but he's like that. He likes to work alone," Liquid would say. "So, I'm ready," Goku would say when he put on guard. "I hope they give me a good fight." The 3 gods of destruction would disappear in an instant. Goku would be disconcerted. The 3 would appear in strategic positions surrounding Goku. "Wow, I see they took it seriously," Goku would say. Goku would say for a few seconds of silence and stillness while everyone was studying. Finally, the 3 gods of destruction would take the initiative. They would throw everything at Goku, attacking him in a coordinated way. Goku blocked the attacks of each of them, although it was too much for him. He could only limit himself to defend himself. "Wow, each of them is stronger than Sidra," Goku would think. Goku would transform into Super Saiyan when he felt that the situation was getting out of hand. The 3 gods of destruction would take distance. "Wow, I see that now you take it seriously," Erat would say. "You'll have to use the Super Saiyan Blue if you want to have a chance against us," Ewan would say. "Thanks for the recommendation, but no one better than me to know what I have to do," Goku would say. Goku, after a scream of war, would throw everything at them. I would start attacking them with everything. Although he overcame it, he had problems to hit a blow. Every time Goku came to a god of destruction, another took his offensive action. After this, Goku would take distance, evaluating the situation. "Wow, I see that they work as a team," Goku would say. "They coordinate very well." "We prepared for this," Eric would say. "Each of us knows the other. We know what our virtues and our weaknesses are." Liquid would say. "You can't against us," Iwan would say. "That's what they think, but there's something they don't know," Goku would say. "Although they coordinate between you, they can't read minds," Iwan would say. Goku would disappear out of nowhere. The 3 disconcerted gods would begin to observe him everywhere. Goku's presence was felt throughout the area, as if his guide covered the entire terrain. "That bastard moves so fast that his guide leaves traces everywhere," Eric would say. Out of nowhere, Eric would leave far away. Liquid had managed to see Goku in 1,000th of a second, but before he could react, he received a blow to his stomach. Iwan would try to do something, but he would be the victim of another attack. The 3 gods were sore and exhausted.
Goku would appear. He looked a little agitated but happy. "I told them," Goku would say. "It's something I learned in the style of disco fight based on super speed." "Cheater," Liquid would say. "It's a waste of energy, but it's worth it against you three." "Although they work as a team, they don't have time to react," Goku would say. "What if the reaction time does not give us?" Eric would say. "What are you talking about?" Goku would say. "Guys, we have to do it now," Liquid would say. The three gods of destruction would approach, clashing their fists against each other. A great burst of energy would come out of them, blinding Goku for a moment. Then I would see something strange in them. Their energies seemed to be one in the three. "What did they do?" Goku would say. "We only joined our minds. Now we will act as a single being," the three gods of destruction would say at the same time. The aura of the three gods of destruction now merged into a single overwhelming presence that even eclipsed Goku. The atmosphere was charged with an intense energy while they moved in perfect harmony, as if they were a single entity with three bodies. Goku, for the first time in a long time, felt a wave of uncertainty. He knew that facing a single god of destruction was already a formidable challenge, but facing three coordinated in that way was a completely different situation. "Wow, they did it with this," Goku would say. "I've never seen anything like it. It's like the fusion, but keeping their bodies. Our minds are one, at such a point that the pain that one will feel, the other will feel." The three gods of destruction would say, "You will not have an opportunity with us." "Come on, let's see what they are capable of," Goku would say. The warrior Saiyajin would breathe deeply, focusing his concentration and his ki while evaluating his options. He knew that he could not allow himself to underestimate his opponents for a moment. The key would be to find a breach in his impeccable coordination and take full advantage of it. "Here I go," Goku would say. The fused gods threw themselves at Goku with a renewed speed and ferocity, each of their movements perfectly synchronized. Goku would respond with impressive speed, dodging each blow and counterattacking with precise blows. However, as the battle progressed, he would realize that his opponents were adapting to his fighting style, anticipating his movements and closing any counterattack opportunity. "I cannot believe it, they fight perfectly," Goku would say, disconcerted. Despite his efforts, Goku was forced to retreat under the avalanche of combined attacks. The fused gods seemed to have reached such a perfect level of coordination that it was almost impossible to find an opening in their defense. Goku knew he needed to change strategies if he wanted to have any chance of success. Concentrating his ki to the maximum, Goku would unleash an explosion of energy, sending the fused gods to retreat momentarily. Taking the opportunity, he would throw himself at them with a new attack, combining speed and strength in a desperate attempt to break their defense. However, the gods would recover quickly, counterattacking his attacks with impressive precision. The battle would become a frenzy of blows and energy, with Goku bravely fighting the overwhelming strength of his opponents. Despite his determination, he would begin to realize that he was losing ground quickly. For every blow he threw, the fused gods responded with two more powerful. It was clear that he needed a new plan if he wanted to have any hope of winning. He would say to Goku. In the midst of the chaos of the battle, Goku would take a brief moment to concentrate and tune in with his fighting instinct, remembering the lessons of his teachers, the battles he had fought, and the times he had exceeded the limits of his own power. With a renewed determination, he would throw himself at his opponents once again with a force and speed that even the fused gods were surprised. But the gods of destruction managed to put him on the line. Then they would end up counterattacking Goku in a formidable way. "They do it very well," Goku would say, to complain about some scratches. "You can't defeat us with that technique," the three gods of destruction would say. "We'll see about that," Goku would say. "Now I want to know, which of you is the strongest?" "Liquid," the three gods of destruction would say. "And the smartest?" Goku would ask. "Tarek," the three gods of destruction would say. "And who is the most lethal?" Goku would say. "Ewan," the three gods of destruction would say. "Come on, really?" Goku would say. If your intention is to generate a conflict in our minds, you will not succeed. We remind you that we are one mind, the three gods of destruction would say. Wow, I thought it was going to merge, Goku would say. Goku, using all the techniques and skills he had mastered over the years, fought with a ferocity and determination that he had not shown before. Each blow, each movement was imbued with his unbreakable fighting spirit. The fused gods fought with all they had, but even their perfect coordination could not match the powerful warrior Saiyajin. Finally, with one last effort, Goku would launch a final attack that would break the defense of the fused gods and send them staggering to the ground. With his victory assured, he approached them with a smile of satisfaction on his face.
"I'm sorry, guys," Goku would say with a smile, "but this time I was the one who had the advantage." The merged gods would look at Goku with amazement and admiration, recognizing the ability and strength he had shown in battle. But not everything had ended. Suddenly, Goku would begin to feel a strong exhaustion. "What's going on?" Goku would say. Goku would take a few false steps to lose his balance. It was hard for him to stand. Even so, he would not leave aside the Super Saiyan Blue, because he knew that would be opening his guard. "What are you doing?" Goku, furious, would say. Nothing," the three gods of destruction would say. "It's me." Jairus would say. Jairus would finally show up with his hand pointing to Goku, indicating that he was executing some kind of technique. "What are you doing?" Goku would say. "We've been planning this for a long time. It's a special technique where I drain your energy little by little, but I need some time to execute it." "Wait a minute, that means," Goku would say when he realized everything, "our plan was never to defeat you directly, but to distract you," the three gods of destruction would say. "Damn, I should have realized before. I never felt the presence of this woman. Not only does he fight with the muscles, also using the brain," Jairus would say. "It's a good tip," Goku would say, more and more tired. "It's a shame you can never put it into practice because we'll end your life now," Jairus would say. "No, if I do not allow it," Goku would say. Goku would leave aside the Super Saiyan Blue, returning to its basic form. "I knew it. You were not going to stand it. You already surrendered," Jairus would say. "It's time to finish him," the three gods of destruction would say. The three gods of destruction would throw Goku with a flying kick. Seeing him in base state, they would understand that this was his end. But at the last moment, Goku would disappear as if nothing. "What happened?" Jairus would say. "Where did he go?" the three gods of destruction would say as they searched everywhere. In the distance, they would see him. Goku shone with a white aura around his body that would bring them bad memories. "It cannot be that this is the Ultra Instinct," Jairus would say, terrified. The Goku's ki would be released at great levels. The gods knew they were in trouble. Even so, they would not give up easily. The three gods of destruction would throw everything at Goku. He would retreat almost without moving, dodging with great precision each of their attacks. Jairus continued to drain his energy, but even so, Goku acted as if nothing. At one point, a line of blood would escape through his nose. It was the effect of Jairus' technique added to the use of the Ultra Instinct. Given this, Goku would give a precise blow to each of them, leaving them unconscious. He had defeated them with a single blow to each one. "It's not true," Jairus would say, shocked. Then Goku, as if nothing, was behind Jairus. A blow to the neck would make her faint. Goku had finally come out victorious, but at great cost. Goku would put aside the Ultra Instinct and cough up a lot of blood. He would fall on his knees. He knew he was in a critical state. "Damons, using the Ultra Instinct when draining my energy was a mistake." "Madness," Goku would say, "but it was the only option. Now I have to find a place to recover before another god of destruction finds me." Goku would look for a safe place, but Katella, knowing his state, would not hesitate to go look for it. "I would travel to Earth as soon as possible to take advantage of the fact that Goku was in poor condition." The kings of everything were impressed with the combat they had witnessed. "Wow, that was great," said a Zeno-sama. "Yes, they used great techniques. The gods of destruction are very good," said the other Zeno-sama.
At least this has served to form a strategy. It would be very useful if they had to face a stronger rival than them, said Daishin-kan. Meanwhile, on the planet of Beelzebub, Vegeta continued his intense training under the tutelage of Whis. As the days progressed, he could feel his own power growing more and more, getting closer and closer to his goal of surpassing Goku and becoming the strongest warrior in the universe. The training was really rigorous and put his life in danger, but for Vegeta, it was a minor risk. He wanted to be stronger than Goku at all costs. I can't let Kakaroto keep being stronger than me. I have to finish him anyway, Vegeta would say. However, his mind could not help but return again and again to the battle that was unleashed somewhere in the universe. He knew that Goku was fighting incredible challenges, and although a part of him longed to face his eternal rival, he knew that he had his own path to follow. Goku would stay under a tree. He was regaining his strength. He didn't have much damage, but he needed to rest. Jealous, as soon as I manage to rest something, I will go for food. I will need to replenish many nutrients, Goku would say. Goku would barely close his eyes and react by jumping from that place. He would do it in just time, dodging an enemy. Who was it? Goku would say, looking for the origin of the attack. Wow, I think you have enough energy to dodge my attack, Katella would say. Dirty rat, you had to attack when you were exhausted, right? Goku would say. Unless otherwise, you could not against me. Cry what you want, but I will be the one who defeats you, Katella would say. Katella would throw everything at Goku. She would attack him with all her strength. Goku managed to block his attacks. Even so, he was at the limit. He barely managed to resist. He would begin to look blurry from exhaustion, and after this, he could not dodge a direct blow to his face. Goku would fall to the ground with no strength to get up. Look, with a single blow, I will leave you on the ground, Katella would say while making fun of Goku. You are pathetic. You turned out to be very weak after all. Dirty coward, how can you give you credit when you can only win like that? Goku would say. Better not talk, that wastes the few forces you have, Katella would say. Goku would stand up with the few forces he had. Despite the wear and tear, he would not give up for anything in the world. Now I will make you suffer, Goku would say with great determination. The situation was critical for Goku, exhausted and badly wounded after his fierce battle with the fused gods and the subsequent ambush of Katella, the god of destruction of Universe 4. He was at the limit of his strength. However, Goku's burning determination did not flaker even in his most vulnerable state. Katella, with her malevolent smile and confident in her momentary superiority, made fun of Goku as he struggled to stand up.
Goku's agitated breathing and the visible effort on his face contrasted with Katella's arrogance. "Do you think you're going to defeat me so easily?" Goku would say between Jadia's with a challenging brightness in his eyes. "Although you propose it, you are only a rat who has to wait for others to be weak to act." Katella, enjoying her position of advantage, would answer making fun of Goku. "There is no need to continue with this. Goku, give up. Accept your defeat. You are no match for me in this state," Katella would say. Goku smiled weakly. "Don't trust yourself too much, Katella. Although my body is exhausted, my fighting spirit is still intact," Goku would say. "If you think I'm capable of surrendering, it's because you have no idea who you're facing." Anger shined in Katella's eyes when he heard those words. He would throw himself at Goku with renewed fury, but this time, Goku not only blocked his attacks, he also counterattacked with the little energy he had left. Despite his state, Goku moved at a surprising speed, trusting his combat instinct and experience to stay in the fight. "Wow, you can still fight," Katella would say. The fight was unequal, but Goku refused to give up. Each blow, each movement was a sign of his indomitable will. On the other hand, Katella, increasingly frustrated by Goku's tenacity, intensified his attacks, hoping to crush any resistance left to the Saiyan warrior. Goku could not transform in any of his forms. He knew that if he did, it could be his end for the little energy he had left. "There are still gods of destruction, so I must be ready for anything," Goku would think. The battle would be intense for Goku. He would begin to feel dizziness, although despite his reduced reflexes, he managed to sustain the fight. "It's already falling, damn Saiyan," Katella Furious would say.
Goku is gonna fall, said a Zenosama. Yes, Goku is going to fall, said another Zenosama. I have to do something, Goku said. At a precise moment when Gatella is about to hit Goku, Goku uses the Super Saiyan, dodges Gatella's attack, and hits him hard on the chest. Gatella would be fired away. Goku returns to his base form and would fall on his knees due to the effort. Damn, I'm about to pass out, said Goku. Gatella would stand up. The blow had been lethal, but he could go on. Bastard, Gatella would say between teeth. I will not forgive you for this. Mr. Goku sacrificed the little energy he had in a simple moment. That was using the energy intelligently, said Daishinkan. That was amazing, said a Zenosama. Yes, but I do not know how long it will last, said the other Zenosama. Gatella, despite his wound, knew that Goku had reached his limit. That way, he would take courage and run towards Goku. Goku would create a key ball in his hand. It's my last hope, said Goku. Goku would launch his attack at Gatella, but he would move to one side, easily dodging it. Idiot, that was a very slow attack. It's your end. Goku would emit a slight confident smile. Gatella did not expect it. Suddenly, the key ball that Goku had thrown previously would return, impacting Gatella from behind. Gatella would suffer a great explosion and fall to the ground just meters from Goku. You? Gatella would say furiously. Well, I'm not the only one who cheats, Goku would say. Gatella would try to stand up, but the wounds did not allow it. After this, Goku would disappear with the teleportation. Bastard, Gatella would say out loud and fall unconscious. Goku would hide in the middle of the forest. He would rest for a few hours until his wounds were less severe and he would recover some energy. The gods of destruction could not believe Goku's great skills. He had shown a great ability to survive and power. Even so, it was too soon to sing victory. Goku still had more gods to face. This is very difficult, but you see it very exciting, Goku would say. Not even in the power tournament he had been so extreme. Meanwhile, on the planet of Bills, Vegeta continued his rigorous training under the tutelage of Whis. The Prince Saiyajin was more than determined to never surpass Goku and become the strongest warrior in the universe. As the days went by, the intensity of his training increased, and Vegeta was getting closer and closer to achieving his goal. Kakaroto, this time I will surpass you. I will not rest until I become number 1. Vegeta murmured to himself while executing fast and precise movements under the guidance of Whis. While training, Vegeta could not help but think about the epic battle that his eternal rival Goku was facing somewhere in the universe. A part of him longed to face Goku to prove his own power, but on the other hand, he knew he had his own path to follow. This would be the most decisive test of his life to prove his courage. After the fight with Gatella, Goku's energy was almost exhausted, but his determination did not fade. When he came out victorious, he just had to try to recover and avoid another unnecessary confrontation. Hours later from the confrontation, Goku would awake. He felt better, but he had to eat. When he touched his face, he would notice his cheeks marked. Damn, I haven't eaten in a long time. My body needs nutrients and I want to heal, Goku would say. It was better to eat something and do it as soon as possible. The challenge continued. The defeated gods gathered to debate a new attack. Do you really think you can do something? Gatella would say. Just look at it. Not even the 4 of us could. Shut up. Look at you. We left all the work done for you and you couldn't finish it. Work done, he says. If you call that work done, it was badly done. Come on, Gatella, shut up, Arik would say. We have to defeat Goku, not fight each other. We should fight both at the same time, Geras would say. That's something that would work if we both agreed, but Bills and Champa refused, Iwant would say. There are more gods, Geras would say. The others said they would unite if we all attacked, Liquid would say. Heavens, I can't believe it, Geras would say. If we continue like this, we will lose the opportunity to have the fairy dust. Anyway, the fairy dust is only for one person, Gatella would say. That's why I'm here at the end, to stay for you, dirty rat, Arik would say. Think whatever you want, I'm not your friend, Gatella would say. Gatella would leave there. Heavens, this is a topic, Gatella, Geras would say. Do you think we should keep trying, Arik? Even if we don't want to, we should do it, Geras would say. After all, these kind of fights, they entertain Zeno-sama. If we don't continue, he'll be upset with us. Goku was eating something. He still felt overwhelmed. At that moment, Ramus would arrive. Ramus would say, "The god of the destruction of Universe 10. "Wow, what have you come with?" Goku would say. "You are the god of the destruction of Universe 10. I know something about you because of Goas."
I still can't forgive you for getting into the affairs of Universe 10, and it's just my chance to take revenge," Ramus would say. "You do know that I saved the 2 universes, right?" Goku would say. "I don't care about that," Ramus would say. Ramus would start to raise his ki. Goku was better, but he was still in need of food. He even noticed it thinner for so much energy spent in his last fight and not having fed. "Now I'll finish you, and I'll stay with the fairy dust," Ramus would say. "I don't need to be fully recovered to finish you," Goku would say. Ramus would explode his ki to the maximum. Goku was worried. The situation was more serious than he thought. Wow, very intense, Goku would think. Ramus would throw everything to Goku, hitting his big body against him. Goku would be fired away, but he would regain his posture instantly. After them, Ramus would start to hit him with an incredible speed. Goku managed to cover himself, but his movements were clumsy. He was not at all better. At one point, Ramus throws a hard kick. Goku blocks it, but an intense pain would run through his entire arm as a result of the contact. "Damn, I'm more hurt than I thought," Goku would think. Goku would go back holding his arm. "I knew it. You can't fight 100%, Ramus would say. "The best thing is to get rid of you now." "Oh no, you won't," Goku would say. Goku would transform into Super Saiyan in a desperate attempt to defend himself. In any case, the Super Saiyan had a hard time keeping him. Goku's stomach would sound, demanding food, but it was not the time to eat. "I will defeat you," Goku would say. Goku would reach Ramus with a strong kick that would throw him away. Goku would go back several meters, but he would return to Goku by connecting a knee under his chin. Goku would take a few steps back, but he was not willing to give up. After that, Ramus would join his hands and launch a great attack from here to Goku. Goku had no time to move, so he could only cover himself. He would be able to withstand the attack, although his arms would be injured. "Heavens, you are more resistant than I expected," Ramus would say. "You are strong, I have to admit it, but not enough to defeat me," Goku would say as he put himself on guard. "I have to be smart and fight with the least energy possible. Although it is better, I have not eaten or drunk water, and that feels a lot," Goku would think. Goku would launch against Ramus, but the God of Destruction had an ace up his sleeve. Before Goku reached him, Ramus would lift his trunk and launch a hypersonic roar. A sound expansion would be created that would hit the wind for several meters. The noise had been strong, but after this, Goku would be immobile. "My body does not respond," Goku would say. "What happens? I have the strongest lungs of all universes," Ramus would say. "My roars are enough to knock out any living being. I have to admire that you are only immobile. Your nervous system was blocked. You can do nothing about it." "Damn, how do I counter this?" Goku would say. Ramus would throw everything towards Goku. He would connect a direct blow on him. Goku had not even been able to counter his muscles, so the attack would be really lethal. That way, Goku would be on the ground with his eyes lost out of nowhere. "Goku is going to die. Yes, he's going to die," the other would say. "It's a shame. He was so close to achieving it." Ramus would walk slowly towards Goku. He appreciated seeing him defeated. Goku's hands trembled, resisting to let himself be defeated. "It's late. The victory will be mine," Ramus would say. "Once I eliminate you, I will claim the dust of fairies." Ramus would point to Goku, ready to eliminate him. Goku had no way of doing anything to defend himself. The situation was critical for Goku. Ramus was about to eliminate him. The kings of everything understood that the fun was about to end, although they had enjoyed it.
in addition to knowing that Goku had had a good experience since the beginning of his fight. Once I am immune to the power of Senno-sama, nothing can stop me, Rammus would say. Rammus would launch his attack. A great explosion would be created over Goku. Even so, when the dust is removed, we see Vegeta, who had saved Goku. "Vegeta, what are you doing?" Rammus would say. "I'm not going to let you eliminate Kakaroto," Vegeta would say seriously. "Fool, you're not even God of Destruction to get into this," furious Rammus would say. "I'm not God of Destruction, but I am the successor of Beelzebub, approved by Senno-sama. And besides, even if they haven't told you, I'm in this challenge," Vegeta would say. "I don't understand. If you want to eliminate him, why do you do it?" Rammus would say. "I know. You want the fairy dust for you." "I don't care about that nonsense," Vegeta would scream, shaking the ground with his scream. The kings of everything saw it from their planet. They would remain silent, witnessing Vegeta's entrance. Each of the gods are pathetic. They just think about scratching all day and destroying what they don't like. That's why most of you ended up in the power tournament," Vegeta would say. "I will fight Kakaroto to death, but it will be a fair fight." "I don't understand. What are you looking for?" Rammus would say. "A real fight. You're not saved from fighting altogether because you're some damned cowards," Vegeta would say. "You still don't have your power of destruction, do you?" Rammus would say. "No, not yet," Vegeta would say. "That means I can finish you off without breaking any rules," Rammus would say. Rammus would throw himself at Vegeta. When he got to him, he would attack him with a kick. However, he would pierce his body as if he were a ghost. There was only Vegeta's residual image left. "I don't understand," Rammus would say. Rammus would turn, and at that moment he would receive a direct hit from Vegeta in his stomach. Rammus would be disoriented for a moment, and then he would fall unconscious. "He defeated him with a single blow," Dyson Khan would say. "Vegeta is very strong," Zeno-sama would say. "Yes, and he got very strong in a short time," Zeno-sama would say. "Great sir, I imagine you agree with this," Dyson Khan would say. "Of course, that's how the fun spreads," Zeno-sama would say. "Yes, besides, Vegeta is strong. The other gods abhor," Zeno-sama would say. On the other hand, Kus would introduce himself to our friends. "Mr. Vegeta, it's a pleasure to see you again," Kus would say. "You must be the angel of this god." "That's right. If I remember correctly, we met in the power tournament." "Whatever. I'll take this insect. Can I ask you something?" Vegeta would carry Goku on his shoulder. "What do you want? Does he really don't care about fairy dust?" Kus would say. "For that Zeno-sama doesn't disappear."
"Why would he be afraid of Zeno-sama?" Vegeta would say. Both kings of everything would put a sinister expression upon hearing that. Dyson Khan would manage to read the aura of both. They did not like the comment. Does he know that Zeno-sama can disappear everything? Of course I know, and only someone who knows that he is incompetent would be afraid of that, Vegeta would say. I know very well how I have to do my job. My conscience is calm. I will not do anything that bothers Zeno-sama, therefore fairy dust is useless to me. Wow, Dyson Khan would say. I understand, it's a good point. In addition, in case you have not noticed, although Zeno-sama cannot disappear me, he is one of the strongest beings in both universes. Both he and the Supreme Priest could defeat all the gods and even the angels with their own hands. Zeno-sama's power is only an ease, but he will always be the king of everything. Vegeta would leave there, taking Goku. Goose smiled at Vegeta's words. Among the gods of destruction, incredibly, it is Vegeta who has it clearer. Goose would say. Vegeta would reach the planet of Bills. You have to cure it and feed it, Vegeta would say. Vegeta, do you know that Zeno-sama is aware of the combats? Bills would say. He listens to everything. I did not say anything bad, Vegeta would say.
If you act as you should, you would not have to be so aware of Zeno-sama. Mr. Vegeta is right, Goose would say. Bills would watch Goku. I was unconscious. I trust that you will attend. I will go to train, Vegeta would say. Mr. Bills? Yes, cure it. After all, we promise. Goose would cure Goku. He would wake up feeling like new. I'm alive, Goku would say. For now, yes, Bills would say. Mr. Goku? Vegeta saved him at the last minute, Goose would say. But why did he do it? Because I also have orders to eliminate you. Vegeta? Goku would put himself on guard, remembering that Vegeta was a candidate for God of Destruction. Heavens, you too? You have to eat. You've been very hungry. But what do you do if you have to defeat me? Mr. Vegeta will fight you when he is in condition, Goose would say. I want a real and honorable fight. I understand. I could not expect less from someone like him, Goku would say. Goku would serve a great banquet. The four would eat in a tense silence. The challenge of defeating Goku was still standing. They were only on a break. Some of the gods of destruction would arrive, claiming Vegeta's action. Vegeta, what is this? Hades would say. Hey, who gave you permission to come? I come when I want. This fool saved Goku. I want an explanation. You can ask Zeno-sama. What are you talking about? Didiyakite would say. Zeno-sama gave the authorization, Goose would say. Goose's baculum would ring. It was a call from Dyson-kan. Father, what a surprise. I see that there are many present, Dyson-kan would say. The gods who had arrived would kneel before the presence of Dyson-kan. Appreciating that the power of Mr. Goku is far superior to the gods of destruction, Zeno-sama decided that it made no sense to continue with this, Dyson-kan would say. What? There is no more challenge? Goku would say. On the contrary, it is decided to call you and Mr. Vegeta for a fight between the two, Dyson-kan would say. After all, it would be the most logical fight. I think it's smart. After all, the other gods have already shown their failure, Vegeta would say. Hey, don't be insolent, Hades would say. Mr. Vegeta is right, Dyson-kan would say. That's why we'll finish everything in the most important fight in the history of the gods. But I'm not a god, Goku would say. But you have overcome them, Whis would say. That's the point. I will design the platform when you are ready. Just let me know, Dyson-kan would say. In this way, Goku and Vegeta would prepare for their fight. The next day, everything was ready. Vegeta, do you really want this? Goku would say. Goku, it's a fight to death. You have to kill me, you know? You want it too, Kakaroto, Vegeta would say. Remember that the stronger we become, the more difficult it is for us to find people of our category. Okay, but you have to kill me. You'll be alone, Goku would say. Remember the order of Zeno-sama. You must try to kill me. If I don't attack you with murderous intent, you won't have your real fight, Vegeta would say. Yes, you're right. I can see that you have trained very hard. Your only presence has changed. I wonder what you have done. He sacrificed a lot to be able to have that power. And of course, he even risked his life, Whis would say. Wow, I can't wait anymore. Come on, let's fight now, Goku would say. The platform has to be ready. Don't be impatient. Whis' baculum would ring. It was the advertisement from Dyson-kan that the platform was ready. After this, our friends would present themselves there. All the gods and angels would be invited. Goku and Vegeta were on the platform ready for their meeting. Wow, this reminds me a lot of the power tournament, Goku would say. But it's a fight between us, so it's different, Vegeta would say. When you are ready, you can start, Dyson-kan would say. First of all, you must know that this fight is to death. The winner will only be decided when one of the two dies. Are you sure about this, Vegeta? More than ever, Vegeta would say. The atmosphere was tense. Nobody knew what both Saiyajins would be capable of. Goku and Vegeta would observe each other for a moment in a tense way. In their gazes, you could appreciate the seriousness of the situation. As if nothing, Goku and Vegeta would throw each other, punching each other. It would cause a great stir that would leave everyone disconcerted. How can they have that power? Hades, disconcerted, would say. Bills, why did you help Vegeta that way? Champa would say.
Only idiots, Bills would say. His duty as a god of destruction is to destroy to maintain balance. Goku and Vegeta are key elements for the development of Universe 7. I will do anything that is possible for the good of all, not just to look good. Idiot, Champa would say. Mr. Bills, if you love us, you were very grateful for what you just said, Dyson Khan would say. Bills would say. In this way, Dyson Khan would give the fairy dust to Bills. It cannot be, Champa would say. Really? You won it? Zeno-sama would say. This fight is thanks to you. At the end, Bills took the prize. Don't get distracted, Kakaroto. Vegeta would attack Goku with a punch. Goku would dodge it for nothing. Goku would transform into Super Saiyan Blue, unleashing all his power. Then Vegeta would do the same. The entire platform would tremble by the suffocating power of both Saiyajins. Their auras shone with an outstanding brilliance. I can't believe it, Jerez would say. Then Goku and Vegeta would throw each other, unleashing a show of blows, attacks of ki and keys. The power of both was something that left useless to the gods of destruction.
Even the angels began to feel how Goku and Vegeta approached their levels. The kings of all observed with amazed eyes, without blinking, not to miss anything. They celebrated the show they were watching. At one point, Goku and Vegeta would throw each other. Both would hit the face of their rival at the same time. They would take distance after the attack and recover the breath. Not bad. It is a pity that after this will come the boredom. Do not say nonsense, Kakaroto. This is just the beginning, Vegeta would scream, raising his power to the maximum. Goku would notice how Vegeta was not using his powers 100%. Picaron, you were reserving. You're doing it too, Vegeta would say. Yes, it is true. Goku would also take his ki to the maximum. The two Saiyans would fight with fervor, giving everything in search of victory. Under the jealous eyes of the gods of destruction, who felt displaced for being so far behind in power. What will happen now that Goku and Vegeta fight to death? Who will be the winner? And even more importantly, should one of the two really die? All that we will know in the next part of this theory. And well, friends, I hope you liked the movie. Remember that if you want to see more parts and another movie of this incredible theory of Goku versus the 12 gods of destruction, this video has to reach 80 likes, many comments, and subscribe for more theories. See you in the next part.